Here we are today with News and Views with the mayor. I'm Harvey Persons, mayor of the city of Douglasville. We have with us today Mr. Gary Lahr, who is the operations manager with Google. Google, that's right. Google is the search engine that I'm sure you're familiar with when you use to search for information out there on the internet. And Gary has something exciting to talk to us about. It's not as much about Google as it is about the gravity games. And you're asking, what are the gravity games? We're going to have racing right downtown Douglasville, right here on Church Street on October the 25th. Now, if I tweaked your interest, you're probably wondering, what is racing, gravity games, and Google all got to do together? We're going to tell you about that in a few minutes. Stay tuned to see what's going to happen October the 25th, downtown Douglasville with the gravity games. Stay tuned. We're going to let you know.
We all use water every day in our homes. Some of us use more than we need. There are lots of ways each of us can use less, like turning off the water when you brush your teeth, putting in high-efficiency toilets, water-efficient shower heads, and other water-saving appliances. Find out how much water you use and how you can use less at mydropcounts.org.
Honey, where's the mop?
Here we are today with News and Views with the mayor. I'm Harvey Persons, mayor of the city of Douglasville. And we're very fortunate to have with us today Mr. Gary Lahr, who is the operations manager with Google. Gary is the guy behind the scenes when you're pulling up a Google search. Gary's the guy back there that's entering all that information to pull up the data that you're looking for. But Gary tells me there's a little bit more to it than that, and he's not really back there pulling up that data. Is that right, Gary?
No, I hope not. My fingers wouldn't be the same if they were.
But we're very fortunate to have Gary with us today. He's been with Google almost since Google's inception. So Gary, if you would, tell us a little bit about you, your background, experience, how long you've been with Google, and then we'll get into what we're here to talk about today, and that is the Google Gravity Games that we're going to be having right here in downtown Douglasville, October the 25th. But before we start talking about that, Gary, tell us a little bit about you and some of what you do at Google, and then we'll get into the gravity games. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. I'm an operations manager at Google. Basically, I'm there to make things run and organize the work that gets done there. My background, I'm a computer science major from college, West Georgia College, locally here, and been doing IT work all my life. I've been with Google for roughly 8 years. Okay,
so you're actually homegrown. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but I've been here for over 45 years.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you how you got from Sioux Falls to happen to decide to go to West Georgia. But you've been here long enough then that you're kind of homegrown, and then when Google opened, I guess they interviewed and brought you in then.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I'm one of the lucky ones.
Well, good. Well, we're certainly glad to have you. Glad to have you here in Douglasville and at Google and back there punching in, pulling up that data for us.
That's right.
When we do those Google searches. All right. Well, we want to talk a little bit and tell our viewers a little bit about what's going on with the gravity games. And most of our viewers, I would almost guess, really don't know what we're talking about when we talk about the gravity games. And that's what we're here today to do, is bring them up to speed about the gravity games, how Google got into it, and then talk more about what's going to happen downtown Douglasville. So tell us about the gravity games and how it got started at Google.
All right, so the gravity games started in North Carolina at our site there in 2011. The community affairs group there really enjoyed the soapbox derby races that the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts had done, and they decided to adopt that and call it the Gravity Games for our project. So they've been doing it for the last 4 years. It's been a great event for them to get the community and the school systems involved. And it's really cool for us because it integrates science, engineering, math, and technology into it, because even though building these carts is pretty simple, you really have to pay attention to how you put it together and make the thing work right. So it's a really cool project for us, and it really hits home for our base community affairs focus areas.
Okay, and that's something for our viewers' benefit. And I don't know, most of our viewers, we joked a little bit about when people do Google searches and you're back there pulling up that data, but that's not really so. I've been out there, toured your facility, and y'all are a good bit more sophisticated than having individuals pull that data up. But since Google has been in the community, y'all have been very engaged and active, and certainly you've been very engaged with us here at the City of Douglasville. I know you've been a great partner with the school system, and you've done some really neat things within our community. And I guess this, the Google Games are just more of that, being a community partner, engaging the community, engaging the school system, but not only with that, but talking about science, technology, engineering, and the M is math.
Yep.
So that really pretty much encompasses, I think, everything or a lot of the things that y'all do, right?
Yep. And our community affairs program is really geared towards those 4 areas. And working with the school systems and doing projects like that, like this, really help us show kids how these things are important.
I'm going to give Google a little bit of a plug here, and certainly Gary didn't ask for us to do this, and Google didn't either, but they have been a great partner with the City of Douglasville. When I first became mayor, we talked about getting Wi-Fi downtown as well as at our 2 largest parks, Hunter Park and Jesse Davis. And we broached Google with that idea, and they became a very active partner and participant in helping us do that. And we now have over 67 acres in Douglasville under Wi-Fi thanks to Google, and we appreciate what you did to help us do that. But the bigger thing, well, we have Wi-Fi downtown. Like I said, we have it at Hunter Park and we have it at Jesse Davis. But that's exciting, but the more exciting part is the computer lab that Google helped us with in providing access in the Jesse Davis Park community to allow kids to have access to the internet. But then there are a lot of children and kids, or maybe even adults, that don't know how to use computers or don't have access to it. And Google was a great business partner or community partner in helping develop a computer lab where we have computers, and I think Google calls them Nexus tablets.
Tablets, yes,
sir. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been a great partner of that. There's been some great benefits that have come from it, and we really appreciate that. So this is just more of that community involvement than in you engage in the community, but trying to do it through science, technology, engineering, and the math that goes with that.
Yes, sir.
Now, I never was that good at math in school, but I guess there's a lot of math and engineering components that go together to make that data center run that you have here in Douglas County.
Yeah, a little bit. We use a little math here and there. We tend to collect a lot of data when we make decisions about changes and things like that. So.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Gravity Games. And you mentioned, I guess, the soapbox, little soapbox derbies. And when I first started hearing about it, I guess I had visions of the little soapboxes that the kids would make. You get a little block of wood, put some wheels on it. But this is much more than that, isn't it? Tell me a little bit more about it and how it works.
There are 2 classes of cars for these Gravity Games. One is for smaller kids, and the other one's a little bit bigger for some bigger people to get into. But we have different classes that we're going to do races with. We have different cars that we've given to some of the public service organizations like the police department and the fire department to spur a little friendly competition there. But the carts are pretty simple to build. You follow some instructions and you put them together. other than that, it's, calculate the weight that you've got if you're really into math and the downhill grade, and see how fast you can go.
So we're really going to get into some sophisticated logarithms and all that about gravity and speed and weight and how all that works together.
Well, hopefully we get some of the schools maybe putting some of those formulas together and displaying that information for us. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, let's talk about, and I want to get into that, about who some of the participants are and really the size of the cars. We touched on that a little bit, but for our viewers out there, these are going to be cars the size that individuals can actually ride in, correct?
Now, I have to be honest with you, Mayor. It's small individuals.
Small individuals.
Yes,
Okay.
I think individuals will be getting in these cars, yeah. The car that we're building, I don't think I could get in that thing. We're going to have to find a little kid at the race that wants to race our car for us to get that thing down the track. But we unintentionally got one of the smaller class cars instead of the big people cars. So.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about exactly where it's going to take place. Like I said, it's going to be Saturday, October the 25th. It's going to be right here in downtown Douglasville. And it's my understanding that the start of the race will be somewhere up around First Baptist Church, or what used to be the old First Baptist Church, and down that hill and end up somewhere right about in front of the old jail. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Going
correct.
by what we call Fire Station number 10.
Yep.
So that's a good little grade there and a good little distance.
Yep.
So
should be good racing.
Okay, so it's going to be Saturday, October the 25th. I believe registration starts at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the
That's
race
correct.
itself will actually start
Around
9 o'clock.
9 a.m., yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about some of the participants, and this is where I think some of the fun's going to set in, because I think there's going to be some good-natured, friendly competition. You mentioned that we have our sheriff's department. They're an active participant.
Yep.
We're going to have the police department. They're going to be an active participant. And then we'll have the Douglas County Fire Department. So we'll have the three major emergency responders within our community with a little good, friendly racing competition. Now, do you think there'll be any competitiveness going on there?
No, I think there'll be a little, and we're going to add a little bit to that too, because the operations groups within the data center, we have two teams that we're building cars, and we're going to compete against each other as well. So I think there'll be plenty of friendly competition.
So you're going to have a little friendly in-house competition going on. Hadn't any chatter already started about that?
Oh,
has it?
none. We don't talk back and forth like that, Mayor. Come on.
Okay. So the operations people and the facilities people are then going to be competing.
Yes, sir.
Within Google, and I believe we have looks like we've got about 3 or 4 middle schools that are going to be competing, and then we have looks like 3 of our high schools competing. So we have middle schoolers, we have high school, looks like 4 of the high schools within the community, and then it also looks like we've got Bremen High School and Horizons Atlanta, which is a private school. So there's going to be some good educational competition going on there, as well as competition from Google, and then the competition from our emergency responders. So kind of lays down the gauntlet there to see who's going to win in which class and that type of thing, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and one thing I didn't want to leave out is our partner in this is Georgia Tech.
Okay.
And Georgia Tech has been working directly with the schools on helping them build their cars, coaching the teams a little bit on how to get them together and stuff like that. And they've been a huge help with working with the school system on getting prepared for these races.
Uh-oh. Now, what's that going to do with our emergency responders? Are they getting some of that engineering help?
No, I think they're on their own.
They're on their own?
They got to figure it out with the instruction book.
Okay. So Georgia Tech is one of the partners in this, in conjunction with the city of Douglasville and Google. So we have 3 sponsors that are working with and helping put this event together. And it's going to tie in with, later on that evening, we're having the chili cook-off, which is one of the major fundraisers for the Cultural Arts Council in Douglasville and Douglas County. And then we'll also have, I don't know if you're a runner or you know anything about the Moonlight Run that's being had, and that is a run that's been put on, I guess, for the last 35 years by the Douglas County Road Runners Track Club. It is actually a sanctioned run, and as a matter of fact, a couple of years we've actually had some world-class Kenyan runners here.
Wow.
Because they had not quite qualified or didn't have quite the times for the events, so they actually have run this race to get their qualifying times to run in the Peachtree and get their placement there. So like I said, it is a sanctioned run, and it's one of the largest nighttime runs in the country. We'll have upwards of 2,000 or 3,000 people that'll be participating in that run. So Saturday, October the 25th is going to be a big day. We're excited for Google and the participation that you're bringing to the day, bringing to downtown Douglasville, and what you're doing to help our community as it relates to partnering with the community as a whole, school system, city, and county. So what else would you like to add to the event or Google and what y'all are doing in the community?
Well, you know, first off, I'd like to say thank you for making it so easy to be a partner in helping out the community. It's been a pleasure working with you guys, and you've made things a lot easier than they could have been, I'm sure. And you know, some of the other things that we do in the community is we work with the school systems to try and educate them on how they do grants with Google. And I think we've been pretty successful at getting some of their projects sponsored that they might not have had a chance to sponsor without Google grant money. So,
well, that's the thing, Gary, and I'd like to really make sure our community knows. And like I said, it's plugging Google, but Google has truly been a great partner within Douglasville and Douglas County, and as well as our school system. The things that y'all have helped as it relates to computers and technology has been a huge partnering with us, as well as the Chamber of Commerce. I know you're a very active member of the Chamber, and everything that y'all have done has been a tremendous asset to our community. I know you do a lot as it relates to the internet and providing us information, but being a good business partner within our community, you've truly been an asset, and we appreciate that. So to kind of sum it up, Saturday, October the 25th, be here. The events will start 7 o'clock registration, 9 o'clock for the race itself, probably run to 1, 2 o'clock at the latest. Then we'll start the Moonlight Run and the chili cook-off right downtown. So tell us the website, Gary, what is it? Is it GeorgiaGravityGames.com?
yeah, GAGravityGames.com.
GAGravityGames.com. Pull it up on the website. Take a look. Find out more about STEM. And that is science, technology, engineering, math, and the Gravity Games, and all the exciting things that we'll have going on downtown Douglasville, October the 25th. Come, be a part, watch some friendly competition between the emergency responders in Douglasville and Douglas County, the school system, and our partners at Google. Gary, thank you for being here. Wish you a lot of luck on the Gravity Games, and look forward to seeing you Saturday, October the 25th. Thank you very much, and please thank the folks at Google for what they do to help us in Douglasville and Douglas County. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor.